Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the new moon Libra eclipse coming up on October the 2nd. Before we get there, we're going to update the current energy as of right now at the end of the month on September the 29th, 30th, as we prepare to enter into October. All right, guys, so welcome back. It's been a minute and I haven't really been too overly obsessed with what's been going on YouTube, but I have definitely been working on other projects and stuff like that, and I've been a little bit busy with that. So a lot of this energy currently right now is really in reference to preparing ourselves for very significant changes that are coming up in the month of October, and we're going to talk all about that. So currently at this time, as you guys may know, or maybe you don't, the moon is currently in the sign of Leo as of the time that I'm uploading this video, or actually when I'm filming this. By the time that you may be watching this video, the moon will be in Virgo. So with the strength card here, there is a lot of energy, a lot of creative energy, and a lot of expressive energy currently at this time that is helping us to really get in alignment with a broader plan, or something that is bringing in a sense of at least some level of inspiration or even liberation, because we have had the moon trine Pluto in Capricorn. Also with that energy currently at this time, we also have Mercury, which is in the sign of Libra, with also the sun in Libra crossing over the south node in Libra. So there's a ton of energy, and I apologize, I didn't mean to say Venus. And so with a lot of this Librian energy currently at this time, there could be a strong sense of release or letting go, especially as we work towards the new moon eclipse in Libra. A lot of this energy and a lot of this focus and a lot of this determination that has taken place in order to sort of release, let go, and remove things of a bit of an obstacle in some way, shape, or form has only just been there to really show you what is no longer working in your life in regards to partnerships and other people. Keep in mind that, again, like I expressed, Libra energy is all about other people, other relationships, and things that just seem to be out of balance in a certain way. And the more that you can remain in balance with yourself and knowing yourself, the more that you're not really thrown off by things that are going on externally to you. So there's definitely been a lot of energy in the collective, and I just kind of wanted to come in and do this video for you guys, give a little bit of tarot here. I know that there's astrologers out there, there's tarot readers that do this as well. I don't consider myself to really be a part of any of that. I just am myself, you know what I mean? I do astrology mostly, but I also work with the tarot just because that's just how I do my channel and stuff like that. And then there's just a lot of other creative artsy kind of things that are going on as well in regards to creative people and things that are happening with other kinds of relationships that work in tandem with the kind of direction that you're taking that is most suitable for you, and that just may not be for everybody, because obviously with even tarot and astrology on some level, you definitely want to have a level of discernment as well. You don't want to always just connect with every single person. 7 of Cups card here, 8 of Coins. There are definitely some very bogus tarot readers out there, people that just kind of don't really make much sense, or don't really hold a sense of integrity as well when it comes to doing something that is meant for a purpose or for a reason that is mostly there to help other people, and to make sure that things are progressing in a way where there's not a level of drain or some sort of energy that is just not for the highest and greatest good of all. If it's a little bit embarrassing, or if you're embarrassing people or other women especially, or you're just I talked about this in a past video, being overly dramatic, overly emotional, especially with Mercury and Libra now, we just don't have time for that. We could really care less. And with Venus and Scorpio, our boundaries are just up right now, and maintain a level of integrity for yourself, because obviously there's going to be definitely a lot of energy that is just there to just show you that it's just not meant for you. 7 of Cups card here, you have choices, you have decisions, you don't have to take on everything, and you definitely don't have to take on the things that other people are saying, especially if it's not fitting for you on an internal, integral level in some way, shape, or form. It's the more that people lie to themselves, or kind of showing their ass in some way, shape, or form, it's only just an expose of who they are, I expressed in a past video. And so, boundaries are just up, and that's the most suitable thing moving forward, especially at this time. So anyway, you guys, moving forward, we have the 8 of Coins card here, which is a sense of focus. This could be work or projects, things that you're kind of finishing up, especially currently at this time. You kind of want to definitely wrap things up a little bit around this time and just kind of like take on everything that you got from, especially this past week, which has been a lot. For me personally, it felt like being in a court or something like that, like kind of like, I don't know, waiting for like a ruling or a judgment of some kind. And like, it's just been like this overzealous kind of vibe when it comes to like other things that are going on externally to like the kinds of things that you're actually focusing on and like the things that you're actually working on and the things that are actually important to you. And again, like I said, that's going to be very different for everybody. Again, a lot of this energy in regards to especially the North and South node is to just know yourself, like be most present within yourself. Things that are happening externally and like things that seem a bit off in a sense, again, it's just only there to just teach you like what is the best thing to not ever do or like never connect with or never pay any mind to. And this is just such a massive time of that, especially because the South Node is in Libra. You know, these are just lessons at this time currently in this moment that are going to be just very, you know, out in the open, like very just evident, you know what I mean? And so you just kind of want to make sure that like you're staying balanced and you're not, overwhelmed. We also have, and there's still going to be like a lot of that, you know, we're always constantly working with the energy, you know, and even in the next year and all of that, when the North and the South node change, like we're doing the work now, even just to make sure that like there is no fallout, let's just say, for like the beauty girlies out there, you know, people that like, understand that, I guess, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like you want to be able to maintain a level of integrity when it comes to like the growth and the expansion of the changes that are coming up, especially here at the end of the year, because this year, I mean, it's going to be a lot already with like the election and stuff like that. And I myself have even gotten to a place where like, you know, I just feel the most importantly for me to do is just like be myself. Like, you know, not that I never was myself, but a lot of times I would come in and just kind of like be like an automatron in a sense and be like, hey guys, da 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 da. Like, I'm just, honestly, at this point, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely don't care. The most important thing for me to do is just like, just do what makes me happy. You know what I mean? And that's what you guys should be doing too. And as long as you stay focused with that, like you'll be fine. We also have Mars in Cancer, and that is trine Saturn in Pisces. I talked about this in a previous video before I kind of took a little bit of some time off and away, especially during this week, intentionally, and kind of forewarned like friends and stuff like that. And I was like, this is just not the time, you know what I mean? And we do have a little bit of turbulent energy coming up in the first week of October because we'll have Mars in Cancer, and it is going to be square Mercury in Libra. So we're going to talk about that at a later time. It doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing. You can actually use that energy for your benefit. We're going to talk about that later, and we're going to talk about how to use that energy properly in order to get to the 7th and the 9th when Mercury and Venus, which is in Scorpio, is going to be trine Mars in Cancer. So there's some work that needs to be done here in order to sort of develop a particular plan or an ideal situation after this first week of October. But as of right now, with a lot of this energy, you know, the best thing to do is just kind of like I talked about in a past video, just kind of like lean back a little bit, stay in your center, you know, like again, like if you have two scales on either side and they're going like up and down like this, the best thing to do is just be the like the rod in the middle of the scales. As the scales goes up and down, if you're in the middle, like if you're the actual rod, then like when things become imbalanced, it just doesn't really bother you at all. You know what I mean? Because like you have either bigger fish to fry or bigger plans, or like you're just like, you know, more so just focused on like whatever it is that you need to do throughout the day, or even getting things done and feeling accomplished and then coming home and then, you know, doing something that is important to you at the end of the day kind of deal. There's always like a, you know, there's like another shoe to drop, let's just say. So as long as you can find a sense of that, especially with Mars in Cancer right now, trine Saturn in Pisces, being kind of developed in your plans and in your skills, 8 of Coins card here, the more that you can kind of just like figure out like what's best for you moving forward instead of getting into this sort of confusion or this fog. Because Saturn in Pisces is definitely an energy of like, there needs to be structure and there needs to be a sense of like progressive planning and things of that nature, but Saturn's in Pisces. And so with Saturn in Pisces, it could be very fleeting on one hand, which is actually a really good thing. I've kind of leaned a lot into that energy where like I'm kind of not really open a lot of the times. And I can be very fleeting sometimes. Like, I've always kind of been naturally that way. I think it's definitely my Mars in Cancer as well, where like, I know a lot of people see Mars in Cancer as being like passive aggressive in a sense, but I think that like for us as a Mars in Cancer native, I always feel like, for me at least, with being somebody who has Mars in Cancer, I always kind of notice that it's more so people that are avoiding the truth. With Mars in Cancer, it could be more so like you see the truth in the things that people are doing and you just choose to not necessarily like confront, only because like you more so feel bad for the other people that are like doing the thing that is making them look like really bad. Granted, do not get me wrong, like with Mars and Cancer as well, that's kind of like the more passive side of it, but the aggressive side of it is that like Mars and Cancer, I think the reason we don't say anything is because we know that if we did, we would like literally destroy people. We would literally destroy you because like our words can be extremely cutting, and we just choose to not, especially as a Cancer sun, like I have to genuinely choose to not like say certain things in a certain way. And it's almost like, good thing I do have Mars in Cancer, because if I didn't, like I would literally be chopping heads off. Like I promise you, like you have no idea. Like it's only because I'm online and like the person isn't in front of me, but like, trust me, like if I was in a situation, Seven of Cups again, like if I was in a situation where like I was like not okay with something, I'm not necessarily the person who's gonna like take it and then say something, because I do know people that are like that. A lot of Cancers are like that too, where they will like kind of allow themselves to get in predicaments and situations that are bad for them, and then they finally say something. I'm not like that. I'm more so like, let's just find a solution and then like do something different. You know what I mean? But while we continue to see the psychosis that is going on in other people, like sometimes you just got to get to the point where you're just like, unfortunately, you know, you just definitely don't want to get caught up in that energy. 10 of Swords, yeah. So anyway, let's get back to the astrology. I don't know why I'm harping on that. This is what I mean. Like, this is me wanting to like really fucking go in and just like fucking lay these swords down on somebody. But I'm not going to do it. We already know what it is. Again, like I said, Mercury in Libra and the sun in Libra crossing over the south node in Libra. Like, this energy is already draining already. Like, I'm seeing this as like literal blood draining out from like being cut by a crab, like deep wound, like to the bone, where like you have to like go to the doctor because your leg or your foot is like spewing out blood because you were in the water and you didn't see that crab come up to you and like slash your leg open, and now you're like with your foot in an igloo of ice and there's blood just like, you know, filling up the igloo, and you're trying to hurry up to the hospital. That's obviously not for all of you, but like, you know, that's very much the Mars in Cancer. And that's a lot of this Librian energy. It's like the karma of what you get for being so fucking dumb, basically. Judgment. Judgment at the bottom of the deck, Sagittarius energy, which is, you know, expansion, growth, and liberation. So just find your liberation at this time. So anyway, moving forward, as of right now, you know, we do have a lot of the South Node energy that's draining a lot of this negative energy out. Alongside with that, we also have Mars in Cancer, trine Saturn in Pisces on the other side of things. And like on the positive scale, this is such a good time to feel confident, to feel secure with yourself, to know and understand, like, obviously if you do this work, and a lot of people that watch my channel and are connected with like a sense of community with the thing that I do, because there has been like this long time sort of growth and expansion and level of like, you know, school and teachings and stuff like that, and working alongside partnerships and all of those wonderful things. Like, there are obviously some people that like I do trust and I do hold like a sense of integrity for. Those are the people that you want to connect with. And then on the other hand of things, like there is still this very strong sense of doing the work and doing something that is necessary necessary in order to work in a bit of a communion, though also, again, remove yourself and be an individual, because obviously the North Node is in Aries, because obviously, like, you can learn from other people and stuff like that. Like, I don't express myself like a lot of people, and a lot of people don't express themselves like me, and that's basically it, you know what I mean? So that's good to have on one hand. On a scale of things, that is more confident and secure, and also like having self-worth and value towards the things that you're doing. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, all right, so let's keep moving forward. So on the second, as we sort of culminate and come into this new beginning, there is a sense of liberation that's going on here, and there's some expansion, there is some growth, and there is definitely some change of direction is what I'm getting. 8 of Cups. A lot of this energy, especially with the sun in Libra currently at this time, there is a need for, like, I keep hearing like open air. Yeah, 3 of Wands card here. I was getting that earlier today where, like, you know, Libra is air, right? So I was getting like this Libra air kind of vibe. And I kept like feeling like myself up in the air, like not like literally like floating in the air, like fucking Stranger Things or something like that. Like, not that, but I meant like, like kind of in a high rise type of deal, you know, like in a city or something like that. Some places definitely give like air energy. Like Paris definitely gives a little bit of like air vibes and stuff like that. Like, it's very open and airy. I mean, even like the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that, like it's high up in the air. Like, you look up and it just gives you this sense of like, you know, it's like almost gasping for air, but kind of like catching your breath in a sense, where like this energy has kind of been us holding our breath, which I heard somebody recently describe it like that, where you're just kind of like, you know, like, what is going on? Oh my God. Like, you know, and on some level, like, obviously, like, that definitely takes work, right? And that definitely takes dedication in order to exacerbate the feeling of like, feeling like your breath is being taken away, or your air is being gasped and stuff like that. But you definitely want to take a deep breath and deep breath out, okay? Because release and let go. New moons are definitely just like new beginnings. It's just a time to just really, you know yourself, release and let go of anything that is just not for you, and allow yourself to just connect to something that is on a higher plane of thinking about the broader plans and the broader future and things like that, and not being swept away by things that just may not be for you, in order to release them and let them go and move forward towards change. And so, yeah, there's still some work that needs to be done here, and there's still obviously work every single day that we do in order to maintain a sense of purpose and a sense of integrity. We have the World card here, 6 of Cups, which is very beautiful. This is, you know, love. And this is obviously like, you know, being very integral and being like, look, I got you, you got me, we're good, we're moving forward, it's all good, we have plans, we have things that we need to do. And again, that may not be for everybody, but at the same time, just be true to yourself. That's the best thing to do, is just like, as long as you're true to yourself, you know. I used to kind of like look at this as like, oh, let me be like, you know, so professional and let me like try to maintain a level of like, and that's just honestly how I do things every single day. Like, I can't help it. I'm a Capricorn rising with like a Capricorn moon. You know what I mean? Like, I can't help but to be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it extremely well. Like, that's just how I am. Like, when I'm dedicated to something, I'm going to do it in the best way that I can. And sometimes that can come off a little bit robotic, or a little bit like, you know, very, what's the word? Like, work related in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, when you go to work, you do your job, you do it really well, you get something done, and then you get accomplished, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that anymore. Yeah, I don't really care, you know? Like, YouTube, yeah, it's cool, it's fun, it's great, it definitely gives you such a beautiful way of connecting with people and stuff like that, but like, I personally, this is why I don't show up on my channel, you know. I definitely have always wanted to connect with like people that are genuine, obviously, but like, I also have never wanted to like be you know, like a Logan Paul or something like that. Obviously, definitely not Logan Paul, but like I've never wanted to just be on a big, large scale of things. I just like to do what I love, and I'm very creative, and I like to share that with people. And so that's kind of why I just honestly don't care to show up on camera, because I'm like, I would rather not like give myself over to like a lot of that, though I love people that do that, and I don't mind, you know, being connected with certain people that do that. I've gone out of my way to meet people that do that and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, that's not for me, because I personally don't like to be talked about by like 571,000 people. Moving forward, Two of Wands card here, progression. And then we have the Magician, which is Gemini energy. Now, Mercury does rule Gemini and Virgo, and Mercury is in Libra. So we have the Magician card here, and the Magician represents manifestation. So again, as we come to this place of completion at the new moon on October the 2nd, there is going to be some desire to make significant changes. You may already be feeling this already. Just stay on the right side of the scale rather than like on the scale that is like overweight and like too heavy, and things need to be like removed and released in order to come back into balance. Just release and let those things go. But yeah, so the more that we kind of get to a place where we're like, okay, like there's a plan, there's a desire, there's a focus, there's an intention, especially as we move into the month of October.